You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more, speak out. It's about to head south. You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back.
Hey guys, what is up? I didn't think you would expect this, but don't mind the green screen. I can't get it down. I need to fix that. But I'm here with my guy, Mike Sports Vibes, and don't hurt him, guys. He is a Vikings fan, but it's all good, man. How you doing?
What's going on? I'm good. Expect the unexpected, even though I'm Philly everything. You already know the vibes. I'm a diehard Minnesota Viking fan. It is what it is, man. Blame the greatest wide receiver, in my opinion, number 84, Randy Moss. Just blame him. That's why I'm a Viking fan.
Hey, I respect that, man. I respect that. I think it's the same thing with Purple Pocket, too.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. Yeah,
it's actually funny how, look, speaking of him, what is up, man? What is up?
What's good?
What's good, bro? Yo, DM me after the stream. I got to talk to you about something. DM me. What is up? Yeah, what is good, everybody? What's up, Ryan?
What's good?
Now, we got a lot of shit to talk about, but first, I got to ask you this, my guy. How are you so positive about this team? I got to ask you how.
I'm going to tell you how. All right, so this is why I'm positive, because, I mean, I'm desperate, man. I'm desperate to win. Like, since I've been alive, I'm a 90s baby. I haven't seen a championship. So I'm trying my hardest to be as positive as possible. And then it was like a tease in 2001 when Allen Iverson got us to the finals against the great Lakers team with Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. it was a tease right there. But it's like I kind of have to be. Well, I don't have to be positive, but my mind frame is I have to be because I'm trying to win. I'm just trying to win a dang on championship. I'm a Viking fan. We haven't won a Super Bowl, and I'm a Sixer fan. Only team that I'm a fan of that won a championship is the Phillies, and that was in 2008, I believe, when they had Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Ruiz, Victorino, but Pat Burrell.
Yeah.
But
that's my team.
That's the only team that won a championship since I've been alive. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's just fans in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's just like we compete. The management, everything's just going right down here. And I just gotta say this: I love your vibes, bro. I fucking love your vibes with the LeBron James video. You walking, getting exercise.
Oh yeah.
I love your vibes, man. I love your vibes.
Yo, I'm desperate, man. I'm trying to win. Anybody can come. If you can improve the team to get us a championship, we haven't won since 1983. Half of us that's watching right now haven't experienced the dang on championship. But let me go. I have to ask the chat, and I have to ask Mitch this question.
Go for it.
When did the process really start? Because, my opinion, I feel like the process started before when we started tanking on purpose, sucking on purpose, losing 72 games a season. I think the process started after we won the championship in 1983. Ever since then, we haven't been the same. You know what I mean? And it's just like we lost the mentality to win. When we had Julius Erving, Andrew Toney, Bobby Jones, Maurice Cheeks, Moses Malone, we beat one of the best teams of all time, the Lakers. The Lakers had Kareem, Magic Johnson. Who else they had? James Worthy, and they swept them in 4 games.
Right.
They had that mindset to beat one of the best Laker teams. And ever since then, we've been terrible. So I'm thinking after that, we've been in the process. Until we win another championship, we're in the freaking process. That's just the way I look at it. It didn't start when we got Joel Embiid. It didn't start when we got Michael Carter's Williams and when Brett Brown was the coach. It started way before then. It's been 40 years. 40 years.
Hey, for me, honestly, I got to go back in 2001 because that was the last time we were in the finals with Iverson. Yes, the team was not built correctly, right? I'll give them that. But it's just like we were there. We snagged one game. When the Lakers were
should have had 2.
Sweep out of the whole playoffs. We got that one win. So for me, it's kind of like an 0-1. And then once it got closer on, you had like Okafor and all these picks. That's when it started.
Oh my God!
That was when they started to kick in with Okafor, Noel, Fultz, and Embiid. You and I can go on and on.
Oh my
videos
God!
And stuff like that. And
Drew Holiday. Getting rid of Drew Holiday too early. As much as you, I mean, come on for Noel. What's some of the other picks besides Ben Simmons? Jaleel Okafor. Michael Carter, Evan Turner. We can't forget about Evan Turner.
No, I mean, my dad calls him Evan Turnover.
Evan Turner. Markelle Fultz. We traded up for him.
Don't even get me started on that.
We traded up for him when we could have got Jason Tatum. And everybody says, oh, well, we made a deal with Boston Celtics. What kind of deal with me? What you said, well, we're not going to draft Jason Tatum. We're just going to draft Markelle Fultz. We promised the Celtics organization, the franchise that's been dominating the NBA for how long? They have like the most championships, right?
Yeah.
The most championships out of every team. We're promising them that we're going to draft a specific player. We passed up on Brandon Ingram. We passed up on Jaylen Brown. We passed up on Mikal Bridges. We drafted him and then traded him the same day. Like this organized. That's why I say people are so hard on Joel Embiid. And I know he's been hurt. The playoffs, he's always hurt at the wrong time. But can you really blame a player that he had to deal with Ben Simmons as his point guard that couldn't even run a pick and roll, couldn't shoot the dang on ball, never improved his game since he's been in the NBA? Like, it's just like, and then you get rid of Jimmy Butler, one of his best friends and one of the best players that he has played with. Debatably, he is the best player he played with because I put him above James Harden. James Harden is just a quitter.
But
so
here's the thing. I'm gonna let you keep going, and then with Jimmy Butler, it's something completely different. We did not get. You know what? I'm just gonna say it now. We did not get rid of Jimmy Butler. He wanted out. Like we had no choice. We had to get Tobias. I call him Tobias. So Tobias, we give him the max contract. Now he's on an expiring deal. So it's just like we had no choice there.
But,
He didn't want to
but
be with
why?
Simmons. He didn't
But
want to
why
be with
did
Ben
he
Simmons
want to leave? Why did he want to leave?
because Ben Simmons and Brett Brown.
They
That
could
was
have
it.
got rid of
We
Ben
chose
Simmons.
Ben Simmons over over Jimmy Butler. That was the main reason why. If we did
And
not,
then
if they went the correct route and got Jimmy Butler, Embiid, and then Maxey, believe me, we would have had a ring by now. We would have had 1 ring or 2 wins, guaranteed.
Right.
But
And then the
me,
narrative. Go ahead. My bad, bro. Go ahead,
No,
bro. Go
no,
ahead,
no,
bro.
you're
Go ahead.
good.
You're
You're good,
cooking.
bro.
You're cooking. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I already said everything.
All right. So, like, my whole thing is this, right? The narrative around Jimmy Butler, because when he was with the Wolves, when he was with the Bulls, the narrative is, oh, he's not a good player or he's too much of a problem to have on your team. I'm going to say this right now. Jimmy Butler is, everybody should have that mindset that Jimmy Butler had.
Correct.
Everybody should have that mindset to win a championship. He's not the most skilled player. He's not the biggest. He's not the fastest. But his mentality is just, I'm going to go get a championship. For the Heat to be in the freaking finals, right, with all these undrafted players, and for them to actually beat, I know they beat the Bucks. The Bucks were kind of hurt. Giannis got hurt. But still, for him to get that team to the finals, come on. Hey, Zoe, stop the cap, bro. The Sixers are Sixers are kind of trash right now, but
just from like the construction standpoint of our team right now, yes, we're trash, but we're gonna talk about that later. We gotta talk about this right now, and that is the James Harden news. And this is what I want to hear from you. What is your thoughts after hearing this about everything going down and then his trade value dropping by the second?
Honestly, I don't even believe it. I don't believe what it's saying he's going to be back in training camp. And if he is back in training camp, right, because he probably has to because he's going to get fined or whatever.
Right.
I don't think he's going to give his all. So you want to have another Ben Simmons situation where he's not going to give his all. He's going to, what do people say? He put a fat suit on. He's going to gain weight on purpose. He's going to act like he doesn't want to be on the team. So why would you want that distraction on the team? I just think if he shows up, he's doing it because, of course, they don't want to get fined. But it's like, why would you want that around your team? Why would you want that distraction? You want Maxey. Maxey is a future superstar. Do you want that player, James Harden, a quitter, around Maxey? Would you want that around? And then you got to think about Joel Embiid. Having that around, you're going to mess around and lose Joel Embiid too. You're going to mess around and Joel Embiid's going to be like, man, I'm tired of this circus. Trade me now. So I just feel like I believe that he's going to probably come, but his mentality's not going. His body's going to be there, but his mentality's not going to be there. His mind's not going to be there. So
now
it's a bad situation.
Now, here's what I have to say about James Harden, right? I've seen this from the beginning, ever since we got him from the Brooklyn Nets. He wanted to come here. He wanted to skip Brooklyn and come right to here. That's why he put on all the fast suit. I knew this was going to happen. If you did not know that this was going to happen with James Harden, I don't know what you guys are smoking.
I don't know what
you guys are thinking. For me, it's just like, it's plain and simple. Harden doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about championships. He just cares about the money. That is all James Harden cares about. And the fact that he picked up his player option, what was it worth? 36 mil? It's just like, he could have just walked. He didn't even have to pick that up. He could have just walked and just been like, you know what? I'm out. Deuces. And you would have been a free agent because nobody on earth would pick you up. So it's just like, you did this to yourself. Maybe he wanted to help out the Sixers in a way, but it's just like, you knew that the trade value was going. Actually, he didn't know that. He wanted the max contract. So it's just like,
he's delusional.
He really is. He really is.
I think he's an all-time great point guard, and I think he's one of the best players of all time. But his mentality, right, is just a loser's mentality. For you to be a top 75 player now, that's what they're saying. For him to be a top 75 player of all time and then just be getting to quit on 3 teams in this time frame, and you have the best chance to win a championship right now with an MVP, Joel Embiid, and a up-and-coming star, Tyrese Maxey, for you to quit. But I understand it in his perspective because he wanted the bag. But the way you played in the playoffs, how can you with a straight face? This is a business at the end of the day. We can't give you the bag when you play like trash. You played up straight trash. He had two good games, right? 40-point games.
Yep.
Other than that, trash. Especially Game 6 and Game 7. Game 7, I believe he only scored 9. And it's not all on him because I'm going to tell you right now, Joel Embiid, I think he scored 15 points. Tyrese Maxey was a no-show. I think Tobias Harris was the leading scorer on the team that game, Game 7. That is bad. I don't know if it was Game 6 or Game 7.
Tobias had 2 points.
All right, so it was Game 6. He was the leading scorer.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had 2. It was just a bad all around. But you're the point guard, man. You set the tempo. It's kind of like the quarterback. You're like the quarterback of the team. You set the tempo. You're supposed to be better than that, man. If your team is struggling, go get you a basket.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You can't get a max deal playing like that.
Nah.
Period.
And here's the one thing I'll give James Harden credit for. One thing. Whenever he's on the court with Maxey excels, bro. Maxey goes up. He doesn't have to worry about playmaking. James Harden averaged a double-double. And it's just like Maxey can only focus on the scoring. Yes, he needs to work on his playmaking. If he gets that down, he's working on his ISO now. Maxey is going to be a problem for years to come. And it's not going to happen when this asshole is right here. Like,
right.
And I'm just clearly said that he will work out a trade for him. But it's just like you did turn your back on Harden about this max contract deal.
Right.
So it's just like it's a two-way street. This whole thing is not just a one-person thing. No, it's 2 ways. It's
right. It's a two-way thing. It's right.
Nice. And I'm just like, how is Morey just sitting there like he did nothing wrong?
Right. So that's why I say
go for it.
Both parties are you know what I mean, Murray is wrong for probably promising him a deal, but like I said, James Harden's wrong for he didn't play right, so he didn't play good enough to get that 3 to 4 year max deal. But I'm just like, we got the coach. We're not that far away. That's my mindset. We are not that far away from getting to the Eastern Conference and possibly getting to the finals.
Right.
For us to be a game away, we could have won it in Game 6, y'all. We could have won it in Game 6 in the 4th quarter. For us to be that close, but then seem like we're so far away, it just sucked. We got the coach. We got the coach now. Doc Rivers wasn't good when it comes to the rotations. Doc Rivers wasn't good at all. I think he's one of the most overrated coaches. Now I mean this in no disrespect, but I feel like he's one of the most overrated coaches. When he won a championship, was it in 2008 with the Celtics? When Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, who am I missing? Kevin Garnett, Rondo.
Garnett.
Right. So you had a team, like you had an all-star team. And even though they weren't in their prime, they were still late in their prime. That's why LeBron James had to go team up with D Wade, because he couldn't beat that Celtics team. That's why he went with Chris Bosh and D Wade. He wasn't beating that Celtics team by himself. No. So how can you not win with that team? You know what I mean? So I think he's overrated. And then Brett Brown, I don't know why everybody was kissing Ben Simmons' butt so much, like he was like the best player ever. I don't understand that. They wasn't putting that pressure on him. They wasn't making him learn how to shoot a free throw. It was getting to the point. It's so bad to be the first overall pick and not be able to shoot a dang on free throw. Like, and you didn't work on it. It was hack or Ben. It used to be hack or Shaq. It got so bad, especially against the Hawks in that playoff series. Hack or Ben. It was that freaking bad.
Yeah.
It was terrible. So it's just so many factors. Then I'm just confused. And I agree with you, Mitch, because I hope it's not a gap year, because I don't want to waste a year of Joel Embiid's prime. And I know they're signing centers left and right. But it's just like you got a great coach. I think Nick Nurse is a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're not that far away. So let's go get a championship now. But the problem is the value of James Harden is holding us back because his value has tanked to the bottom of I don't know, the ocean or whatever. his value is bad right now.
Yeah.
So
it's just like with Ben Simmons, right? People are saying like, where's his work ethic and everything? He could shoot the three. There was this one game, I think it was like in a practice or something. He pulled from half court at the buzzer and it went in. So it's just like he can shoot the three.
It's a mind thing.
It was a mind thing, exactly.
It's a mind thing because
here, like, we're here again. We're here again. But this is where I disagree. Well, this is where I think it's going to be a gap year because you look at Maxey, right? He did not extend him. You have Tobias Harris. I think he might get traded at the deadline. You got all these benches on a 1 year contract. Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell, who just tore his ACL, he's done. Daniel House Jr., DeAnthony Mellon, I go on and on. Like he's trying to predict for the 2024 to get Klay Thompson, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby. And for me, I'm just like, so what? We're just throwing all this year away? Just like, goodbye, see ya. And
yeah, like that's a good point. And I look at it like this, even though they're free agents, Klay Thompson and the other players you were naming, how do we know that their teams are not going to sign them? Even though we got the money, don't mean they're going to want to come to Philly. Especially if Joel Embiid, I'm trying to tell you, Mitch, if Joel Embiid, if we don't get to the playoffs, that's even worse. Yeah. We don't get to the playoffs, or we get knocked out in the second round again. And he requests a trade. Why would any free agents want to come to Philly after that point? Nobody's going to want to come to Philly. Maxey, as much as I love Maxey, he's not. There's levels. Joel Embiid, and then I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I love Maxey. I think he's going to be a great player. But are they going to really want to come to Philly for Maxey right now? He ain't Dame. People are trying to make him seem like he's like I don't know. I like Maxey, but
I get it. But the thing with Maxey is like this. They see a future. I know we're in a win now mode, but with Maxey, you see a future, and there will be a couple players like, okay, I want to play with him. He's got a bright future. Look at Wembanyama, right? I know that's a bad example. People are going to want to play for the Spurs to play next to him. That's why I was hoping that Wembanyama would have got drafted to the Rockets, and then Harden would have saw him and be like, let me go back there. That was my dream, but look, it didn't happen. So it is what it is. Yeah, Ben.
Right.
5 threes. Yeah, I get that. 5 threes.
Right. But and then like Maxey is. I'm not trying to trade Maxey, so the chat don't go crazy. What I'm about to say. When people were saying that they wouldn't trade Maxey for Dame, can you tell me why? Is it because Dame's a little bit like? Is it because he's older, or is it because you think that Tyrese Maxey will eventually be a Dame? Like, I'm trying to win a championship now. I understand the future, but we haven't won in 40 years. So how much longer are we going to wait? That's my whole point with that. And if you can get a Dame, and you just give up Tyrese and whatever. And I'm not saying I want to get rid of Tyrese. I'm just saying I don't want to. Hopefully we can package something in a 4-5 team trade, whatever, with James Harden and somehow get Dame. Even though Dame doesn't want to be in Philly, he wants to go to Miami. So I'm not trading for him anyway if he doesn't want to be in Philly. But when people were saying, oh, I'm not getting rid of Maxey for Dame, he's too old. Dame is still one of the best players in the NBA. Him and Joel Embiid, you think James Harden, Joel Embiid was good? Come on, man. Come on.
I want Dame. I actually made a tweet, what was it, about a year ago, saying I would trade Maxey for KD. And people were going for my head. I'm like, you got one of the best players of all time. You don't want him on your team? But it's just
they
like
didn't want him.
The potential of Maxey is there. The potential of him is there. And people are like, what if it doesn't work out? You ruin all your pieces. Well, it's a risk you're going to have to take. And for me, I'm just like, bro, enough is enough. Maybe. Do you think we should blow it up? Like people are saying we should blow it up. Like my guy Snowman Media right here.
Sixers are done. Finished.
Sixers are done.
Should we blow it up?
Yes.
Whew. I got mixed feelings. I'm like 60-40. 60, nah. And 40, we might need to really start considering it. I'm gonna say this. Until Joel Embiid requests a trade, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because I feel like we're too close to win a championship. We were not that far away. So I just feel like we'll just be taking too many steps back. But I understand right now, Joel Embiid's value probably will never be the same. Even if he won MVP next season, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a year older.
Yeah.
There's more wear and tear on his body. His value might not be the same. So if we was going to trade him, right now would probably be the best time. But I don't know if I could blow it up right now, man. I just imagine we trade him to like the Knicks, just saying the Knicks or whatever. Yeah. And then he comes and plays, and he comes to Philly. He's going to put up 50 points. He's going to destroy. I have a feeling he's going to probably end up having 70 points in a game.
Now, when it comes to trading Embiid, to the West.
It has to be the West, right? It has to be. It can't, because the Knicks and the Miami Heat, the two teams that I keep hearing about. But no way I'm trading them to the Eastern Conference team. There's no way I'm doing that.
Yeah. Now, halftime, you keep on saying, like, we need a three-point shooter. And we do. So, surprisingly, we were the best three-point shooting team. We just didn't take a lot of threes.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, our best three-point shooter right now is Furkan Korkmaz.
Oh.
And then Maxey, who's increasing.
That's
our best three. And then you got the Anthony Melton. George Yang, don't even get me started with him. He was supposed to come on my channel. The guy ducked me. The guy is soft. I don't care. He's out. So it's just like, oh, if you want me to get into that, I'll get into that. But it's just like, what else do we have to give? What else?
That's a good point, Philly. I'm thinking like this. How do the Nuggets build their team? And I know you can't compare Jokic to Joel. They're two totally different players. They're both centers, but their games are way different. But they put around a whole bunch of wings, a whole bunch of people that are athletic, that can play defense, play multiple positions, and shoot the damn ball. We don't have athletic wings. Jalen McDaniel was probably the most athletic wing we had. And guess what we did with him? We let him go. You know what I mean? We didn't even give him a proper opportunity in the playoffs because of Doc Rivers. So, I mean, we don't need a superstar or a star to be on this team. Just build and copy the Nuggets, how they built their team. And like I said, I made a video a few days ago. And I know the Spurs, like the last time they won it was 2013, 2014?
Yeah.
I feel like the best way we can win a championship is kind of build like the Spurs did. I know it's kind of going back, but since we have one of the best centers in the game right now, and I compare, they had Tim Duncan, one of the best centers / power forwards, how they built around him, that's how you need to build. You put a whole bunch of shooters around him, literally. You put a whole bunch of shooters around him, then you have Tony Parker able to get you 30 points, 20 points, can do everything as a point guard. That's Tyrese Maxey all day. Debatably, I can say Tyrese Maxey is a way better shooter than Tony Parker, from three at least. So I'm not saying that Joel Embiid's on the level of Tim Duncan, but that's like the type of team that we need to kind of copy. And of course we had Nick Nurse. I'm not saying he's on the level of Greg, but I think he's a pretty darn good coach. For him to win a championship with the Toronto Raptors, his first year getting Leonard, I think that was the first year Leonard went there and won a championship. I mean, that's pretty darn good.
Now, when it comes to Tobias Harris halftime, it's just like no one's going to trade for that contract. This is
nobody.
I think he's going to get traded at the deadline. His value will go up to a team that's trying to contend, maybe need a 3 or 4 third option or fourth option, an assassin scorer like his dad called him, and maybe we can get something. Or just let him go at the end of the year, his contract's out. We had so many contracts, and then remember this whole James Harden rumor when it started? It was like they were trying to link PJ Tucker into it.
Right.
Another example of Gap 2024. That 3-year contract out of the door.
So it's looking like you're right though, Mitch. I think that at the rate we're going, we're probably gonna end up waiting until 2024 to really compete. I just don't want to. I just don't want to think like that because it's just
I
like
don't either, man.
I feel like if we waste this year, it can get worse because Joel Embiid is going to request a trade.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. I hope I'm 100% wrong. And Tobias Harris his father got to hype him up. I don't think Tobias Harris is a bad player. I think he's actually a pretty good player. Actually, it's just he's the third, fourth option on this team. You're not going to be over Joel Embiid. Obviously, you're not going to be over James Harden. You're not going to be over Tyrese Maxey right now. You're not. So you're the fourth option, and we're not. And he's just a 3-point shooter. When he was with the Pistons and the Clippers, he had the ball in his hand more. He was doing a lot more, backing people down, turning around, jump shot. He was doing a lot more. And on this team, you can't do that. You're just pretty much a 3-point shooter, 3-and-D player. Even though he can't play no defense, in my opinion. I don't know about that.
Don't even get me started on that. But beast mode, we gave him up, or we gave him all that money because Jimmy Butler wanted out. That's the only reason. We could not lose both at that time. So we were like, okay, we couldn't lose them both. Tobias is it. So it's like, yeah, Jimmy Butler wanted out. He got his wish, Miami.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You have to trade Joel Embiid if he gets hurt again. That's another thing too with his health. I mean, with Joel Embiid's health, the door is closing. Whew. It's going down, and it's closed. See ya.
And Mitch, that's why I'm like, we have to go all in. But you can't go all in with players that you can't trade James Harden for what you really want, right? So it's just almost an impossible situation to really. I don't want to say impossible, but it's a hard situation to be in. You don't want to trade him for nothing, but he's the most valuable piece that we're willing to trade. Because we're not trading Tyrese and we're not trading Joel Embiid at this moment. So it's almost an impossible situation. I understand what what's his name, Beast Mode, what he's saying about trading him, but because of injury. I mean, he's injury prone. As much as I love Joel Embiid, it seems like has he been healthy for the playoffs ever? Has he ever been healthy?
Has he ever stepped up in the playoffs ever?
And that's another thing. So when he was healthy, he got his eye broken, right?
Yep.
Against Siakam. And he got his eye broken in the playoffs. Yep. This last season, it was what was it, his knee or I don't even know what the injury was this season that just passed. But was it a sprained knee? A sprained right knee or something like that. Yeah. So it's like he can't stay healthy. So it's almost like, that's why I said I got that 40% is like we might need to consider. But my question to you, Mitch, what can you get for him?
For Embiid?
What can you get for Joel Embiid? Right now, realistically, and I don't want just all first round picks because we know we suck at drafting. That's exactly what I
was going to say. 4 to 5 first round picks. I want the Rudy Gobert haul.
But we suck at drafting though, so we might not do nothing.
I know.
That's the problem.
Like, what do we do? Or we're handcuffed. Sixers are handcuffed with the James Harden thing. Like, yes, coach, you're a Knicks fan. Haha. Yeah, trade Harden for Dame.
They will never.
Yeah, okay. All right, coach.
I would wish that to happen, but that ain't gonna happen. But it's like, so the problem is like we get a whole bunch of first round picks. What about up and coming stars? Do you think we can get like an up and coming player at least instead of just a whole bunch of first round picks? Like, who can we get that can grow with Maxey, that can probably work with Maxey? That you're like, yo, that's a young player that we can get in a package. And it has to be in the Western Conference. Who do you think?
Our coach said it. Thunder, Rockets, any of those teams can give us something.
Right. What's the one young? What is his name? From the Thunder. What's the star? With the young star name in?
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes. What about him? Like in like some first? Would they even do it?
If that happens, I'm all good.
I'm good.
I doubt it. I really doubt it. Like, I'm gonna want like 4 picks, SGA, maybe Dort or Josh Giddey, one of those guys, something like that. Holmgren, there's another one. But here's the thing with Holmgren, right? Chet Holmgren, The guy
Right.
is skinny. I need to see him for the whole year first. I need to see him to play for the
I
whole
don't want
year.
Holmgren, man. I don't want Holmgren. Did he even play? Is that the guy that got hurt by sticking LeBron James and he got hurt? Is that the same
Yes.
guy we talking about?
Yes.
No, I don't want him. I don't want. That's another injury big man. I don't. He couldn't even stick. Look, I mean, no one can stick LeBron James really, but nah, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that. Like, and then like, all right, so if we get a whole bunch of first round picks,
Yeah.
are we going to package them to move up to the first pick and then hope
I would
to
not.
goodness we?
If they do that, it's got to be like a surefire thing, like a Victor Wembanyama or something.
It has to be like that,
Got to be a sure thing. Like that's
or a
it.
young player, or trade for a young player
It's
using
gotta
those
be
first round
something.
picks.
But this is what Daryl Morey would keep on saying. Like, if he trades Harden for something, he doesn't want just like anything. He wants like maybe a player and then trade that player and go up. It's called flipping assets. So maybe
Right.
you'll get this asset, flip it, and get something better. Like it's a game of 2K and then my DM or whatever that is, franchise mode. That's basically what it is.
I got a question for Mitch and everybody in the chat.
Go for it.
Who actually won the James Harden Ben Simmons trade?
Ty.
Now that we look at everything, who won?
Well, here's the thing. Harden played. Harden played.
Okay.
Ben Simmons did not. So on that aspect, I have to go with us. But it's like now we're getting the same exact thing. So maybe it's a tie. No one. Yep. Arku, you probably said it. No one. So,
Right.
like it is what it is. If he
But they got the 2 first round picks though, right?
Huh?
They got the 2 first round picks too, right?
Sixers?
From us. No, from us.
Yes.
So they got the 2 first round picks, Seth Curry, Drummond, and Ben Simmons.
Yep.
So they got the 2 first round picks. That's valuable.
Curry and Drummond are not even on that team anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, yeah.
No one. Yeah, I have to go with nobody.
It's bad. It's that bad. And then, Mitch, did you hear about the rumors that before we got James Harden, there was rumors about getting other players? Tyler, what's the point guard?
Tyler Hero?
Tyrese, was it Halliburton or something?
It was Halliburton and Buddy Hield, yes.
Do you think that was true? Do you think that was like a true thing that could have happened?
1,000%. If we actually went that route, we could have had Halliburton and Maxey as a backcourt.
Oh my gosh. That's bad. It sucks.
Buddy Hield at the 3, Tobias at the 4, and then Embiid at the 5.
We would have been
a perfect lineup.
Right.
Halliburton, Maxey. Halliburton would have to be the point guard. Then you'll go with Maxey. Then you'll go with Buddy Hield, Harris, and Embiid.
And it seems like every trade deadline, right? It seems like Buddy Hield is always coming to the Sixers. Some way, somehow, Buddy Hield is supposed to be a Philadelphia 76er. I don't know why, but it just seems like Buddy Hield to the Sixers. Buddy Hield, what is it? Is it because he wants to come to Philly? Like, what is it about Buddy Hield? And what what's wrong with him? Is he like, why are they trying to trade him so much? Like, what is it about Buddy Hield? Is it his personality or?
He's a 3-point shooter. And like he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. So if any team will love a 3-point shooter.
Right.
So it's just like that's why he keep on getting rumored. It's like, oh, you're a 3. It's kind of like Kyle Korver back in the day. It's
that's
like
my guy.
Everyone wanted like 3-point shooters. Yeah, it's a win-win. Yeah, that Kings and Patriots trade was a win on both sides. Yeah. Really, man. Yeah, Halliburton.
Yeah, we're in a world of trouble, though, Mitch. We're in a world of trouble. I'm trying. It's hard to be optimistic now, and it's like, it's hard to be optimistic. Like, I put these dream case scenarios out. Like, imagine if we somehow, I know it's not going to happen. They're not getting rid of LeBron James, but just LeBron James and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey being on the same team. Just the thought about it. I know it won't happen, but it's just like, damn, just imagine. Even at his age, he is still top 15 player in the NBA and playing with, and I don't care what nobody says, as much as people, Anthony Davis got that deal, right? Yeah. I'm putting Joel Embiid above Anthony Davis. I don't care what nobody says. Maybe not in the playoffs because he hasn't played in the playoffs, but I think Joel Embiid overall is better than Anthony Davis. And every time them two play each other, it seems like Joel Embiid dominates Anthony Davis every time. So him playing with Joel Embiid and Maxey, bro, we definitely in the Eastern Conference Final. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're talking about. The Leonard is the problem is he's always hurt. Who else? Paul George always hurt. And realistically, James Harden, his value has dropped so dramatically that is nothing that we can do with him right now until a team gets desperate. Like, I feel like the Clippers will get desperate, but they're still not going to trade Paul George and Leonard. They'll trade Terrence Mann. I think they're going to end up trading him eventually.
If they do, it's not going to be to the Sixers.
Wow.
If they do, I don't think it's going to be for the Sixers. To the Sixers. James Harden shows up in training camp. Nobody really wants. Basically, everything we just said. Yeah. Come on, Mitch. You turn people. Oh, my God. Shut up. When the Joker drafted by the Nuggets, could we have had him?
He was a second-round pick, right?
Yes. Anyone could have had him.
And you know another thing? That's another thing.
15.
This is another thing, Mitch. I didn't even bring this up. Not even drafting all these players, right? Because some of them actually could have been actually pretty good. Michael Carter-Williams, I don't know, Evan Turner, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Jaden Springer. It's like when we're drafting all these players and we're not developing them. We're not really developing them to try to improve their game from the college game. And it's like Jaden Springer, he's a first-round pick. We haven't even seen him play that much, man. That's not good. And I think it's because of Doc, because Doc doesn't like young players. But that's why I like Nick Nurse so much, because for him to coach the summer league, that made me like respect him a lot more, because he's like, yo, I'm gonna just like, what's his name, Terquavian Smith, undrafted. I think he's a baller. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a star, but he might be something that can help us. You know what I mean? Ricky Council. And who else? There's another player I'm missing.
That's exactly what Nick Nurse is going to do.
Yes.
That's why McDaniels is gone. That's why Thibault got traded. And it's just like, I see it.
Right.
I see it.
He could have developed them.
I want to see Springer. I love Terquavion Smith. I don't know why they were bringing Philip Trusev. That guy sucks.
Right.
Why?
Terrible. Like, why? Like, who? What country is he from?
I don't even know.
All I know is we didn't need him, but I mean, he was undrafted, so you know what I mean. They just trying to see what they can get, but I think Terquavion Smith, and I that's why I like Nick Nurse. That's why I say, man, I don't want it to be a gap year. And maybe all these centers that we're signing, was it Bo Bamba? Is it Mo Bamba or Bo Bamba?
Mo
Bamba, right?
Yep.
And what's his name? Teared his ACL. Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell, we brought back.
Yeah, Harrell. Who's the other big? We got Paul Reed.
We got
Joel Embiid.
Paul Reed, Montrezl Harrell, Mo Bamba, Felipe Trusev, and then PJ Tucker.
I ain't even worrying about him. All right. Yeah, so maybe, I'm just saying, maybe he's trying to flip them to another team that needs a big man. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Miles Power would have been a good one. Don't even start it. You think this is bad? All the talk? We got to talk about the contracts, bro. The contracts are worse.
Oh, my God.
Look at this, man. Let me zoom in here. Tobias Harris.
Oh, my gosh. What was they thinking? What was they thinking?
James Harden, 35.6. Tucker, 11. Melton, 8. Paul Reed,
I like Melton.
7.8. Korkmaz. Here's the thing about Korkmaz. He's on the team, but he doesn't have a contract yet.
Korkmaz, and he wanted to be traded. And he wanted to be traded too. On top of all that, he wanted to be traded
twice. And now with Maxey, he did not get extended. That worried
I know.
me. That worried me. Daniel House, we gained him back. Springer, Beverly. I love that signing. I
like that too.
Signing. I love it. Harrell, torn ACL. Mo Bamba, he can shoot the 3. Maybe we'll put him at the 4.
He better.
2-way contracts. Ricky Council to Quavion and to Bellis.
That's my guy.
You ready for the cap hold? We got 7. Mike
Scott.
Man. We're still paying Mike Scott.
How?
$9.5 mil.
What?
Dwayne Dedman,
Oh my
$2
God.
mil. Paul Millsap,
Paul
$2
Millsap
mil.
still?
Kyle O'Quinn, $2 mil. Louis King, 1.8. Mac McClung.
I want to see him play.
Yeah, he's still a free agent.
I want to see him play though.
Miles Powell, there was a guy,
Okay.
1.8. So he's an exceptions. Don't care.
We in a
That's basically
Mike
it.
Scott? Mike Scott? What in the world are we still paying? What was it, $9 million?
Yep.
What the freak kind of?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's a Mickey Wave, but you know how much they love Korkmaz because he scored 40 points in the Summer League game.
Yo, watch Nick Nurse play him a lot more too. Nick Nurse gonna play him a lot.
Yeah.
Nick Nurse gonna play him a lot. This is gonna be one of those years where I don't know if I can be optimistic. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm trying to be because of the coach. Because of the coach. Because I know that he's gonna do rotations. He's gonna put the young players in. What's up with it? They're gonna put young players in, and I'm looking forward to seeing these young players play. Jaden Springer, I'm looking forward because I see flashes of game from him. Like his defense, the defense is off the chain. I love his defense. I want to see more of like his scoring, his shooting consistently, his mid-range. Not really his three-point shooting, but just his mid-range and driving to the hole more. It's enough that you can do it in the summer league, but can you do it in regular games? And I want to see that because I think he can be a big part, but we haven't seen enough. And when did we draft him? When did we draft Jaden Springer? Like 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago, 3.
And we still haven't seen him. Like that's terrible, man. And Paul Reed, I don't think he's going to play center. I think he's going to be a 4. He's going to play power forward.
I can't wait to see Embiid and Paul Reed together. I cannot wait to see that, but people are telling me, Mitch, he cannot shoot. He's not a good shooter to space it. Wrong.
We'll see.
When you have it, look at his college stats. Look at his stats in the G League. He can shoot the 3. He can shoot. He's got the stats. But it's just like, for me, it's just like I need to see in a regular game. If he can space the 4, and actually, if you put Mo Bamba at the 5 and Paul Reed at the 4, Mo Bamba can go to 3, right. And then Paul Reed can get all the boards.
See, Paul Reed, and this is, and I don't mean to go back to the playoffs, but I just got to say this. Like when they changed the lineup, when the Celtics changed the lineup and had Horford and what's the other guy that they had, the big man, with the braids or whatever, that they had Horford and him, the 2 centers playing.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But when they changed and made that adjustment, why didn't Doc Rivers? We know the answer to that, but like, why didn't he think to like trust Paul Reed enough to just have, Paul Reed, you're going to be the 4. You're going to play next to Joel Embiid a lot more. You got to counter to their counter, Doc. That's why you're the most overrated coach in NBA history. When he started talking about Greg Pop, he was saying, "Oh, you don't ask Greg Pop these questions. We ask you these questions because you make the stupidest decisions. You don't. It's like you don't think beyond. You don't make adjustments. That's why they asked you these questions, Doc. Just to, you know what I mean? But for him to try to put him on the same level as Greg, you're nowhere close to Greg Pop. Stop the cat.
No. Stop the cat right now. Yep.
Stop the freaking cat. You don't ask Greg Pop. What? Greg Pop is the best. This is my opinion, y'all. I think he's the best coach. One or two of all time, in my opinion. When they drafted Tim Duncan, they literally drafted a dynasty and they built the perfect team around him. It wasn't the flashiest team, but he knew how to coach, and that's why they won 5 championships in that time frame. You know what I'm saying? And they already had Robinson. So they had him for the first, when they drafted him, they put Tim Duncan in the power forward position and had the other bull as center, and they was winning championships, man. And that's why I say Greg is one of those coaches that imagine if Greg had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Imagine if Greg had Shaq and Kobe. How many championships do you think he would have had? No disrespect to Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan on the Spurs, I mean, you could. they had Shaq and Kobe. They had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Those tandems are way better than any tandem that, no, not way better because I'm not going to disrespect the Spurs, but come on, man.
I mean,
Greg Pop would have had a lot more
have,
championships.
Spurs did have Robinson the year before. Then he got injured.
Right.
Then you got Duncan. So they had
right.
Duncan, Ginobili off the bench, who's
Tony.
arguably the best sixth man of all time. Then
Ginobili
could have been in top 75, but I digress.
Right. So it's just like, yeah, but that's the thing though. Going back to the Sixers though, that's how we need to build. We need to build like them, and there has to be, and I hope Nick Nurse, and I know Nick Nurse is going to cater towards his superstar. I know he's going to, I think he's going to have the mind to be like, yeah, we're going to put a whole bunch of shooters around. We haven't done anything yet because we're held up by James Harden. But I think he has the coaching mind, the intelligence to be like, yo, we're going to build like this. So, and we know how we're going to win with Joel Embiid. If not, then they need to start thinking about trading Joel Embiid ASAP. But we know James Garbage. And
James Garbage. He's a huge James Harden. He can't stand Harden. He cannot.
He ain't garbage.
Stand Harden before we even got him.
Yeah, he ain't garbage, but his personality, his mind, his mental toughness is garbage. Especially in the playoffs, he's garbage. But I understand where you're coming from. Like,
yep.
I understand where you're coming from though, because it's like for you to be that good of a player, and then I respect James Harden because from him to adapt to Joel Embiid and be people forget it wasn't the flashiest, but like we're used to him scoring probably like 30 points a game, but he's not the Houston James Harden. He changed his game into one of the best passers in NBA history. You know what I mean? He led the league in assists. So you got to respect that aspect. And for him, we actually got to see Joel Embiid at his best running a pick and roll. We haven't seen that. Even with Tyrese Maxey. We don't know if Tyrese Maxey can be consistent enough to run a pick and roll with Joel Embiid. I'm not saying he can't, but we don't know how consistent he can be. So we got to see Joel Embiid at his best. So hopefully when we do trade James Harden and Tyrese Maxey is that point, hopefully he can be, not saying he's going to be averaging 10 assists a game. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that because I don't want to change who he is because he's a scorer more than anything. But if he can get the assist, what he averaged 4 or 5 assists last season?
Yeah.
If he can get that assist to possibly 7, 8, maybe 8, I'm going to say 8. That's perfect. That's perfect. 7, 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eric Spoelstra was undrafted. Yeah. So speaking of coaches with Nick Nurse, what are you looking forward to the most? For me, it's the offense, not the defense. It's the offense.
Yes, the ball movement.
Yep.
The ball movement. That's another thing about the Spurs. I know I keep going back to the Spurs, y'all, but I love that team. The way they play is like the most beautiful basketball ever, in my opinion. The way they passed the ball, the way they played the ball was the right way how to play. I just want to see the ball movement. I want to see the rotations. I want to see him make adjustments on the fly because we know Doc Rivers wasn't doing that. I want to see all that, and especially in the playoffs. I want to see those adjustments on the fly, and I want to see how he's going to really put that pressure on Joel Embiid and make him play a certain way. I want to see, even though Joel Embiid was MVP, I want to see some improvements. I hope Nick Nurse applies that pressure to Joel Embiid to be a better passer out of the double teams and triple teams.
Yep.
I hope he challenges him to be, even though your offensive game you're not doing the best, I want to see that defense still at the top. That's the one thing about Tim Duncan. Even though his offense might have not been the best some games, you can never say that about his defense. His defense, even in his late stage of his career, was great. And that's what we need to see in Joel Embiid, because that's how you feed your team. You get a nice block or something. That one block what's that one block he had against the Celtics? It was nasty too, man.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Oh my, that's what we need to see consistently. And I hope Nick Nurse is going to apply that to the atmosphere. The atmosphere has to change, and it starts with the coach, and then it starts with the best player, and that's Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So it's
So
mine.
remember when Joel Embiid actually said that he was close with Doc Rivers, and then Doc Rivers leaves, and then this whole thing with him trolling about him wanting a championship at other places. It's just like I don't understand what this guy is coming from. He is my favorite player in the league. I'll say that wholeheartedly, but it's just like, man, stop with the trolling, bro. I can't take
Right.
it. No one can freaking take it.
Hey Mitch, I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes the trolling, there's some truth in trolling. Some of the stuff that
Right.
he's doing, there's some truth in that. I
Yeah.
truly believe he means what he says. If I don't win it, I'm trying to win anywhere. If I don't win it in Philly, shit, I'll win it anywhere. That's how he should probably think. He probably shouldn't say it out loud. It's not the right time when we're talking about James Harden and Tobias Harris leaving. But I feel like he had to say all that on Twitter to kind of soften that blow because Philly fans, Philly is passionate about their teams. You know what I mean? We're passionate. We understand the game. We know what it takes to win, even though we haven't won in 40 years. We know what it takes to win. So he had to kind of do damage control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I truly believe that he feels that way. And I don't blame him because I don't want to be with a team. Look at Kevin Garnett, for example. What if Kevin Garnett would have played with the Timberwolves his whole career?
Yeah.
He would have never won a championship.
Nope.
He would have never won. Look at some of these all-time greats that never won because they stayed on a team way too long in their prime. I'm just saying.
There is
I'm
truth.
just saying.
You're not wrong. I completely agree with you because all these teams are making moves. Look at the Celtics for Porzingis. I mean, Cavs.
Oh my gosh.
Bucks. Everything. And the Sixers are like, we got Daniel House Jr. We kept Anthony Melton. We got Montrezl Harrell, who sits now towards ACL. Mo Bamba. We matched Paul Reed. It's like, what are you doing for me here? Patrick Beverly, which I do like.
I love
but
Patrick,
they used
man.
it to keep Harden here.
Right. I
Because
love
Beverly
Patrick.
comes out and he goes, Harden, what are you doing? I'm here. I'm here. I want to play with you. I want to play with you. And now this whole
Unfortunately. Hey Mitch, unfortunately, Pat Bev, you ain't that guy, man. We like you. You like your personality. We like how you play. But there's levels, man. Like he ain't going to just stay in Philly because of you. If anything, he's going to stay in Philly because of Joel Embiid. But it's to the point where it's not even. It's personal at this point. It's not even Joel Embiid. It's not even that. Tracy McGrady came at him about that. It's not even that. It's about his feelings is hurt. Period. He got promised a bag, and he's not getting the bag. So his feelings is hurt, and he's like, "Yo, man, get me the f out of Philly. Get me out of Philly because you didn't keep your promise."
Yeah, and my guy Spongy, Mike, you got to
Man, you got to get. Hey. Let me tell you this though. No disrespect to the Eagles, right? Because I'm Philly everything, right?
Right.
I love certain players. Like I love Dawkins. I love the certain players, Westbrook and Trotter. I'm going back that far, right? When it comes to the Eagles, McNabb,
Yeah.
T.O. You know what I mean? Some of the players I truly love, but I never been an Eagle fan, and there's no disrespect. I'm just gonna always bleed purple. I'm a diehard Viking fan. But I'll tell you one thing though.
Go for it.
I respect how the Eagles are building their team, and I am envious a little bit on the fact that y'all drafted Jalen Hurts. I was following Jalen Hurts in college, and I actually was like, yo, this boy is nice. And when y'all drafted him in the second round, and an Eagle fan, because my whole family's Eagles, right?
Yeah.
One of my family members was like, oh, I don't like Jalen Hurts, blah, blah, blah. He ain't no good. This is the first season y'all had him. Y'all drafted him. Yeah, he didn't play that good the first season. Whatever. He was a rookie. I said, y'all don't understand the mindset. His mental toughness is beyond. He's going to improve his game. Now look what he is, man. And how y'all built y'all team from y'all defensive line, y'all offensive line. That's how you build a championship team. Most of the dynasties in football is they build it in the trenches. They built trenches and then everything else. And you get your quarterback. Y'all took a chance. Y'all got rid of Carson Wentz. You had Nick Foles. You got rid of Nick Foles. You got rid of Carson Wentz. You drafted your friend. You didn't know he was your franchise quarterback, but it's the point that you took a chance to draft him, and then now look at him. So I respect how y'all are building your team, and I hope my Minnesota Vikings can somehow copy y'all when it comes to building an offensive line and all that. Because it's sad, man. It's sad. I'm Philly everything, and then the stinking Eagles won a Super Bowl, and then they beat us in the NFC Championship game. But this is my thing to all you Eagle fans that's watching right now. This is what I'm gonna say to y'all. My mighty Minnesota, I'm gonna say mighty because I know Michigan gets mad when I say mighty. My mighty Minnesota Vikings will win their first Super Bowl before y'all win your second Super Bowl. That's all I got to say. And I know that sounds really stupid to say, but at the same time, that's all I got. But I can't say nothing to the Steelers. I can't say nothing to the Steelers. Steelers got 6 Super Bowls. I got family members that are Steelers fans. I'm like,
you got family everywhere. Wow.
I got family members that are Steelers fans and Eagle fans. And everybody's mostly Eagles, but then I got some Steelers fans in my family too. Like, and it's just like, but Randy Moss got me. If it wasn't for Randy Moss, I probably would have been. I would have been an Eagle fan because I liked the McNabb and I liked the Trotter. I love Trotter, man, and Dawkins. It was sad to see him play for the Broncos, man. Like, he should have retired an Eagle. I know he was going through the shoulder, the neck injury, whatever he was going through. He should have retired an Eagle. Those type of players that are all-time great, you got to somehow keep them. You got to keep them.
It is what it is. Well, and then Justin Jefferson for you.
but think about it though. I mean, as much as I love Justin Jefferson, but y'all got a quarterback though. Y'all got a franchise. We don't have a franchise quarterback. No, that's not true. We got Kirk Cousins right now, and his name isn't Kirk Cousins. His name is First Cousin, aka Captain Kirk. He's the captain of the ship, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be optimistic / delusional until we lose. Until then, I'm going to say we're going to win the Super Bowl every single year. And Kirk Cousins, if we don't win the Super Bowl, we're going to draft our franchise quarterback in 2024. We better.
I mean, let's just talk about the Vikings real quick.
My bad, yo.
No, I just have this one question, though.
Go ahead, bro.
Do you draft a quarterback this year?
You said what?
Do you draft a quarterback this year?
We drafted a quarterback, Jaren Hall, in the 5th round. I like his potential. He has good arm talent. He's a dual threat quarterback. But this is my thing, man. It's hard to find a franchise quarterback once you get past the 2nd round, definitely. So I'm not saying he can't be a franchise quarterback because there's all-time greats. I'm not going to name them all. But Tom Brady, then you got Russell Wilson, and yada, yada, yada. There's so many quarterbacks that are great that was drafted later rounds. But when you start getting that late, it's harder for them to be a franchise quarterback. So I'm thinking we got to draft higher. The higher you draft the quarterback, there's a higher chance of him being successful. Not a guarantee, but there's just a higher chance of him being a franchise quarterback.
All right. With the Sixers, all I got to say is this. Are we a title contender this year or no?
All right, so I think we're huh?
I want to hear your honest answer.
Oh my gosh, you know what? We're a title contender if James Harden even comes back. I think if he plays like he needs to play, if he plays like James Harden can play, we're definitely a title contender. So I even think we're a title contender.
I agree with you on that.
And if we trade him, it just depends on who we get, man. Right. And even then, I think we're a title contender because I have that much confidence in the coach that we have. Nick Nurse is an underrated coach. I really feel like when we see him coach, y'all gonna be like, wow, this is what we've been missing. Him and I have so much confidence in Tyrese Maxey. Like, I truly believe, I know RB, I know you, and a few other 76er content creators we see the potential of him being an all-star this upcoming season. I feel like he made a big jump to average. What was it? First year, I forgot what he averaged his rookie season. I forgot. But then he went 17 points, and then last season he averaged 20. Imagine if he has the ball in his hand a lot more. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk my talk, bro. I'm going to talk that talk. Imagine if Tyrese Maxey had the ball in his hand a lot more. I could see him averaging 22 points and that's small. I think he can average 20. I know it sounds so crazy.
If he
25,
if he was the number one option and Joel Embiid still can get 28 points per game, he will get 24.
Easy.
And James
But the
Harden
only
would not-
thing,
Yeah.
this is the only thing though. I just need that ball movement. That is the key. When you have a big man like Joel Embiid, you have to have better ball movement. The thing about the Sixers last season, even with the great James Harden facilitating, because he is great when it comes to facilitating the basketball. Anybody can say he's garbage, but when it comes to passing the ball, he's pretty darn good, right?
Yeah.
Even when he was facilitating at that high level, I noticed a lot of possessions. It was stagnant. It looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Joel Embiid is getting in position, and James Harden's not passing him the ball right away, or Tyrese Maxey's not getting him the ball the right way, right on time. It just seemed like the ball wasn't moving around enough, and I don't know. And I think that's because of coaching, though. I don't think it was because of the talent. I think it's the coaching. That's why I feel like we are contenders this year. It just depends on this James Harden situation. And I want to get rid of Tobias Harris more than anything. I want to get rid of Tobias Harris more than James Harden, because I think we could be a top 2 team in the Eastern Conference this year if James Harden came back with the right mindset. I truly believe that. Tobias Harris, I'm just not feeling him. I'm sorry, because for him to be the 4th option and he can't stick and then when they were saying I stick the best player, he stuck the best player, and Tatum gave him 55 points, man, or 50 points. Come on, man,
dude.
And then you got hot in the 4th quarter to win Game 6. So you didn't do your job when it really counted, Tobias Harris. So I just want us to get rid of Tobias Harris. Of course, we're gonna end up getting rid of James. I hope not, but then I hope so. I'm mixed, man, because I feel like we're so close. I'm back and forth because I know we're close. We're not that far off, y'all. We're not that far off. So,
okay, if James Harden comes back and he gets the regular mindset, yes, we're title contenders. We're up there. That is
right.
the key factor with James Harden. If he is back to his normal self and can average a double-double, I am fine with it. Right. But it just Mitchell Reeves. Oh my God.
It's not going to happen. Wait, I didn't even see the comment. You took it off too quick. I didn't even see what he said.
Oh, it said Mitchell Reeves.
Oh, okay.
Here looks my hat. Oh, well.
But like, real talk though, like you were saying, pretty much, if James Harden comes back and he has the double-double mindset, he has a good mindset, then you stop there. If he has that mindset, you say we're contenders.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him having that. I think he's too hurt that he's not getting that deal. But James Harden, if he was going to get that deal, somebody would have traded for you by now. Like Mitch said, somebody would have traded for you. Period. If you was that bull, they would have traded for you.
Yep.
They don't have the confidence. You might quit on them. That's the issue here. That is the biggest issue. You quit on everybody.
When it comes to, all right, our crew, I'm going to say this now. When it comes to content creation, despite opinions, I always respect people's opinions. I always do. But when it's just like you don't do the research and stuff as I do, maybe you do, I don't know. But it's just like I respect for the people that do the grind and that don't quit. That's my respect for people who do content creations. But it's just a grind, bro. It's a fucking grind.
It's a grind. It's definitely a grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's in the past. We ain't worrying about that.
Nah. I'm still gonna make videos. I'm still gonna react to your stuff.
Yeah, that's in the past. It's cool. I'm all for it. But like I said, like I'm just trying to be as optimistic as possible. All the Sixer fans that's watching this, because at this point, we haven't won in 40 years, y'all. Just think about that. We haven't won in 40 years, so it's like if I'm just negative, oh, we effing suck. We ain't never gonna win. We don't never do. I mean, I could easily have that mindset, but when we're so close, when we have one of the best players, one of the best centers of all time. If he's healthy long enough, he will be one of the greatest centers of all time. How can you not be optimistic with that talent on your team? Even when Allen Iverson, even though we didn't have nobody around him, we had AI. You had to be optimistic because, I mean, we have AI. We just got to get the right players and have the right coach. We didn't have the right players around AI.
When it comes to the trade deadline, back in 2000, 2001, we traded Theo Ratliff for Dikembe Mutombo. We made that move for us to try to compete with the Lakers with Shaq. So it's just like we make a move. But here's my thing with the Sixers now. Can they make a move like that at the deadline? If they can do that and get like a really caliber player somehow, some way, maybe. But as of right now, I don't see anything.
Yeah, like, and this is my whole thing. For 76er fans, we're not getting a star back for James Harden. I already agree with Mitch with that. I agree we're not getting a star. I will be really surprised. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't see it because his value is dropping so freaking dramatic right now. Dramatically. His value sucks right now. So I'm looking at players that are underrated that you wouldn't that have wings that can shoot, and players that you don't think that are really good, but that can possibly blossom with the Philadelphia 76ers. And I was thinking this, right? So I want your opinion, Mitch, and everybody in the chat is watching.
Go for it.
And I know he's like a fringe all-star. Right? I don't even think we can get him because James Harden's value is so bad. And I know he can't shoot the best, but I think he will play good with Maxey. Murray, DeJounte Murray. What is your opinion with him and Tyrese Maxey? His defense, what do you think?
The overall thing with DeJounte Murray, he's good. The defense is there. That can definitely help Maxey, one.
Right.
Two, he can give you points on a consistent basis, maybe like 15 to 18 points per game. I like that. I do. But they just gave him a contract extension and all that. If we could get Murray, perfect. I love it.
They gave him a contract extension?
I think they did. Am I wrong?
Oh, shit. That's a done deal.
I'm going to look it up just in case because I hate it when I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's an underrated, but you know what I mean? That's an underrated player. I mean, the only thing about him is he can't shoot at the rate that we would want him to shoot. But you never know. He might do better with Joel Embiid because, you know, they're going to triple and double team Joel Embiid. So you're going to be wide open. So maybe your 3-point percentage will naturally.
Maybe not. He's worth 17 mil right now. He's on the last year. Maybe he did. Did he get a contract extension? Yeah, I think he did.
Damn.
But so get someone like that, I'm perfectly fine. We need someone who can space the floor. Good.
Right. He's not. He's more of a get buckets. He's not really a space. And he's a good facilitator. He's a pretty good facilitator. But his defense is pretty darn good as well.
Right. Halftime. DeJounte Murray's teammate is Trae Young. He wants Trae Young like no other. That's all he wants is Trae Young.
No.
No.
No. I can't stand him, man. I wouldn't be mad, but I can't stand him, man. There's just something about him pisses me off. When I look at him play, it just pisses me off sometimes. You know, there's just certain players that I just can't stand. Just when I see him play, like Patrick Beverly. Before we got Patrick, I didn't like him but I do like him. I like his grind. But Trae Young, when we played against him that one year when we had Ben Simmons and we lost, and what was it, 6 games? Was it 6 games or 7? We lost to 6?
Yeah.
6, yeah. We lost to 6. Oh my gosh. I just didn't like him ever since that series.
No.
Can't bang with him. He's a good player, but all that, like what he used to do back in the day, getting those easy foul calls and going to the free throw line, they ain't calling it no more. Like just like James Harden, not calling that no more. So that took a lot from
him. Yeah. All right. So that's gonna conclude Sixers alert. I really appreciate you to hop on, man, to talk Sixers. Maybe a little Eagles and Vikings, which we did. And hey, Sixers fan. That's all I gotta say. I don't know about your takes though, but hey, grind is real. I respect you, man. If he's on your team like him, if he's not, yeah.
Right. That's how I feel.
It's an automatic 3-point shooter. Where's the defense?
Right.
I can't see the defense. NFL Street. Can't see the defense. We had the worst defensive backcourt in history. Well, not history, this past season.
He's trash on defense. And then you having him in, just imagine him and Maxey. Like no disrespect to Maxey, because I love Maxey. I like Maxey but his defense, we know his defense ain't all that. So we got him and Maxey. Like that would be a disaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Both can't play D. Well,
Right.
Maxey can play a little, but
Maxey's showing that young in his career, he can work on that.
right.
I can see
He's
that.
growing.
Yeah, I can see it. Harden's done. Harden's basically done on both sides of the ball. Basically.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Teacher Got Game. Really appreciate that. If you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to him for Sixers and Vikings content. I mean, man, let them know where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, you can find me on hold on, get my mic. You can find me on Twitter, Mike Sports Vibes. You can find me on Instagram, Mike Sports Vibes. You can find me on of course, YouTube. Definitely go on YouTube, Mike Sports Vibes. What else?
Yep.
I think that's it. You can find me on there, Mike Sports Vibes.
Congrats on 400 subs. I see you.
Yes, thank you. I'm working my way up. It's definitely a goal. I'm working my way up to try to get to 500, man. That's the next goal. The next goal is 500.
Yeah, the stream, you know I never thought we needed. Good stuff, Mike and Mike, the new Eminem.
Yeah. Hey, we might have to call it Eminem show or something. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do because when the season starts, Mitch, we're gonna have to do some more lives and just talk about what's going on because it's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be a crazy season, man. It's gonna be crazy.
When the season starts, I do play-by-plays. I do post-game. I'm partnered with Edge of Philly Sports, who's features writers and stuff like that. We live stream the games and everything. If you want a Sixers writer on your channel, I can hook that up. So,
right, okay. So when you do play-by-play, are you literally? Are you watching the game? Can they see the game itself, or is it just just saying what's happening?
Copyright. So
because copyright, right.
I'm watching the game in the chat. It's right there. I did a Phillies one today, and they lost 3-0. Like, I'm not doing a Phillies game anytime soon.
I got to get back into the Phillies, man. Like, I haven't been watching them. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching the Phillies since that run, since that time frame when they had Roy Halladay and all that. It's just like I haven't been watching them. But Bryce Harper, I know he's a baller. There's a few other players. What I noticed is that our pitching isn't the best, right?
Right.
Our pitching isn't the best. Our relief pitching isn't the best. And that's the kryptonite right now. So
it is. But hey, guys,
I'm out, y'all.
That was Sixers Alert episode 8. Sixers Alert episode 9 is next week. And man, I gotta be on your channel for the Eagles and Vikings.
Definitely. All right, brother.
Peace. All right, guys. We'll catch you all later. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe to my guy here, and peace out, man.